There was joy, and laughter too. Two gorgeous tumbling fillies kissing Echo's cheeks simultaneously, making the young buck blush to his hooves. Doof had found the cheese tray and its unfortunate digestive implications to any pony downwind. Stonewing flew through a solid wall, much to the amazement of the onlookers, including Rainbow Dash, and the dismay of Big Macintosh. Vanity and Rarity drifted through as a respite and a focus of calm and civility. The gala accumulated, with the Marauders getting medals for their work, for securing more coal mines and other east of Hoovington, and holding it against overwhelming odds. Finally, the party started to wind down, and Jetstream heard a mare cry out, "Help! Somebody help them!" My host took to the air and swooped down the hall like a comet. She found Fluttershy in an alcove with a collapsed, coughing, and rasping Goldenblood. She was pressing a hoof to his throat. "Your heartbeat's very weak, and it's regular. We need to get you to the hospital." She looked at Jetstream. "Get Twilight. She can teleport him. Or maybe Rainbow Dash. She can fly him there. He's not heavy." "On my way," Jetstream started to say, readying her wings. "Stop!" Goldenblood rasped as Jetstream turned to follow Fluttershy's instructions. The blue mare froze, looking back at him as he struggled to rise. He coughed again, blood specking from his uniform. "Please, stop. I'll be fine." "You will not be fine. Your heart is failing." Fluttershy insisted, but he raised a hoof to her mouth, silencing her. "My heart has been failing for years. I'll be fine," he said in wet, laborious tones. "Just another hour. Then Luna will have retired, and the important ponies will have gone home." He spasmed and hugged his scarred chest, wet coughs rasping softly in his torso. "Everything must go perfectly tonight. Right to the end." "But why?" Fluttershy asked in concern, brushing his sweaty golden mane from his scarred forehead. "Where the nobles go, the people follow. Luna is changing things. They have to accept her, accept the ministries, support both," he said in short, breathless gasps. "Confidence in Luna is all that matters now. If the nobles believe, the people believe, and they will fight for her, because they believe in her." He panted as she held him closely. "An hour, and I'll go." Fluttershy's gaze hardened. "I'm not going to let a patient of mine die. We're getting Twilight." "Twilight needs to be seen with Luna. Now!" he insisted as he held her foreleg in his clammy grip. "Half an hour, then every pony will be leaving. The attention can go off Luna." He squeezed her foreleg. "Please, Fluttershy, my life doesn't matter compared to you 7. Please." "I can fly him," Jetstream said confidently. "No one will miss me. I got my medal. I can just fly him to the hospital and you can follow me." Fluttershy looked down at him with a gentle smile. "We're going to the hospital, Goldenblood, and I'll find some way to make you feel better. And if you're not going to argue, understood?" Jetstream shed the filly dress, and with Fluttershy's help, carefully got Goldenblood onto her back with her wings. "You should stay here. The 6, with Luna. Symbolic." "Does he always talk this much?" Jetstream asked as she adjusted his weight. "He's a very bad patient," Fluttershy said quietly as, together, they flew out of the side of the palace. The shadow and fireworks flashing hid them as they moved together through the city. "And a very not good Escort, I'm sorry, Goldenblood murmured, with alarming weakness between gasps as they flew into the night amid fireworks and sparklers. It's okay. I'm not very good with big parties anyway, Fluttershy replied as she flew close to him. But I'll take care of you, Golden. I'll take care of you. As the memory faded away, I was left lying on my back in a bed, a blindfold wrapped around my eyes and tied in place. I lifted a hoof to push the blindfold away, only to find it restrained by a hoof cuff. I jerked all my limbs once, finding them all strapped down. I jerked again and again. Like the memory orb, a mare said to my side, and I turned my head in her direction, my horn starting to glow to remove the blindfold. Something heavy tapped against my horn. Don't. You hurt 2 of my nurses. Take off that blindfold, and I'll smash your horn. Then dump you outside for the ghouls. Understand? Where are my friends? Who are you? Where am I? I asked. If this was the Enclave, then I was going to take them apart, or die trying. The mayor sighed. Your friends are alive. Some of them are still in very serious condition. My name is Dr. Triage. You're at the university. You're a guest of the collegiate. There was a pause. I'm going to remove your blindfold. Please, stay calm. We almost killed you trying to sedate you earlier. I felt the blindfold slowly tug away. My eyes, my right eye, there was a bandage over my left eye, trying to focus on the mare before me. Everything was blurry, and sparkles danced in the corner of my vision as I struggled to focus on the gray unicorn with the blonde mane. Her doctor's coat was speckled with blood. I gave a tug on my cuffs, and she arched her brows skeptically. Are you going to be able to follow my instructions and stay in bed? I want to see my friends, I said as evenly as possible. She sighed again. Why does no pony ever listen to the doctor? She walked to the door, and she pushed it open. I need a wheelchair, please. She called down the hall before I turned to my bed. Now, I want you to stay calm. We went through some rather extraordinary measures to try and save you. If you hadn't helped us at the Fluttershy Clinic, well, how's Glory? I asked softly. See? Look at me being the picture of calm. She's stable, and in much better shape than you are. You have severe biomagical contamination. The damage is extensive. We have placed you in the autonomous healing booth just to stabilize you long enough for surgery to remove the necrotic tissue and put you back in for a second run. Be glad the professor likes you. I don't recall her allowing any pony 2 trips through the tube before. She lifted a key with her magic. I'm telling you all this because it took nearly 6 hours to put you back together. I don't want you to ruin all that work with an overdose of stupid. One by one, she removed the cuffs. I need to see my friends. Now, I said resolutely as I slowly rolled out of bed and onto the floor. Then I felt the urge to scream as my legs bent under me and I collapsed onto the yellow tile. My legs bowed before my eyes. They weren't supposed to bend like that. You really need to listen to your doctor, she said as her blue magical glow wrapped around me and laid me back onto the bed. Several of your bones have transformed into something the consistency of thick rubber. We're trying to find a treatment to strengthen your limbs. Fortunately, your spine, skull, pelvis, and ribs are still largely intact. Your legs, however... She gave a non-committal shrug as a white earth pony buck with a pink heart cutie mark trotted in pushing a wheelchair. Tell me Glory's condition. Were you... I swallowed hard. How could I just ask if they were able to get her wing back on? We were able to stop the internal bleeding in the 4 of you. The alicorn... well, I won't hazard a guess as to her physiology. Rampage recovered on her own. She was the one who found us. Went right to the professor. Triage said, as she carefully lifted me once more and put me on the chair. With my left eye covered by the bandage, I had to keep turning my head to see things. We exited into a far grimier hospital hall than the Fluttershy Clinic. But at least this one didn't have play written on the walls. She trotted ahead as the buck pushed me along. Believe it or not, your injuries were by far the most severe. Physically, at least. Blackjack! Rampage shouted, rushing down the hall and shoving aside any pony who got in her path like a filly avalanche. She slid on the tiles, and only Triage's magic stopped her from slamming into me. How are you? They said you were stable, but how are you? She asked as her eyes got huge and round. She put her weight on my knee, and I gripped my teeth as I felt it bend. She jerked her legs back, and the expression on her face somehow made the sensation even worse. I'm fine. We're going to go check on Glory, I said as I brushed her mane. From the horrified look on her face, my heart began to thud limply in my chest. What happened, Rampage? I don't remember. I don't remember anything after we came down those stairs. When I came to, we were on an elevator that opened up on a construction site near the university. I came straight here for help. She was very insistent, Triage said softly as she trotted ahead of us. I think she swore a personal, unending, and eternal war of annihilation if we didn't help you right away. Fortunately, the professor agreed. I woulda, too, Rampage replied with a scowl. Triage simply rolled her eyes with a huff. Rampage, how's Glory? Have you seen her? You have, haven't you? I asked, and she quickly looked away as the orderly stopped pushing me. The other staff in the grimy ward watched me warily. Given that I could shoot them with a look, that wasn't much of a surprise. I haven't been to see anyone except P21, Rampage said softly. I didn't want, anything to happen. She bit her lip. Since I woke up, I keep feeling I don't think I'm safe, She looked at me with shame in her pink eyes before she quietly stepped back. Magic glowed around the wheelchair as Triage pushed me the last few feet into the dirty, dim, dank room. Oh, Glory. I wanted to weep as I saw her lying still in the decrepit hospital bed. A magical monitor beeped softly as she lay on her stomach, with a blanket around her haunches. One gray wing lay slack at her side. The other wasn't. I shook as I stretched out a hoof towards her, tears running down my cheeks as I watched my outstretched limbs slowly droop as the muscles cramped. I hugged my leg to my chest as I looked at her unconscious. You couldn't save her wing? Put her in the magical restoration thingy again? I muttered, thickly with a sniff, my body starting to shake. It was my fault. I had caused nothing but pain and misery in her life. Do something. Please, I said as I twisted and grabbed Triage's dirty medical coat between my hooves. I'll do anything you want. Just fix her. The doctor sighed. We can't. When her wing was separated from her body, putrefaction began immediately. All that reached the top left was bone, dead meat, and feathers. Give her Hydra, something, I begged, gritting my teeth as I felt my forelimbs bend. I can't leave her like this. Triage grunted in an annoyed resignation. Even if I could work, the amount of Hydra we'd need to use would probably induce such massive amounts of taint contamination that she'd be dead anyway. Just like you, she said as she lifted a clipboard. Contamination? Me? I haven't seen taint corruption like yours in a long time. You should have seen your heart. We removed at least 6 tumors in your lungs and lymphic systems. I can't even begin to guess what it's doing to your skeletal structure. She poked me in the chest with a clipboard. You know what? Forget your bones, she said as her lips curled into an angry smirk. I can't even begin to guess how it's fucking with your brain. My brain, I muttered dully, receiving a look that looked like I'd just proven her argument.